I first ran into the red, yellow, green when I worked in the federal court, so I know you've seen this before. But we try to make sure that everybody has a chance to answer questions. People will be moving in and out, so please don't let that bother you as you follow up. And a former defender and prosecutor myself, I understand that the publicity that sometimes comes to a judge, whether they want it or not, they're randomly selected. However, technology, social media, and the 24/7 news cycle have increased the likelihood that a judge's name will be reported on all media sites. This now leads to an unprecedented amount of attention on an individual who is responsible for overseeing a federal case. Would you describe the threat environment and how it has evolved over the last decade or so with respect to federal judges? And what is the federal judiciary doing to ensure that tragedies like the murder of Daniel and Darrell don't happen again?
The threat environment is dynamic and complex. And it's important and essential for us to have our court security account funded to address this. Not just outside of the home, but in the courthouse as well. There have been, since 2020, a lot of attacks on courthouses and damage to courthouses. The court security account funds our court security officers, who are really the frontline officers at courthouses, who screen individuals coming through and make sure that the judges, when they're there, are safe. It also funds the essential equipment at the courthouses, the screening equipment, the video equipment, the magnetometers, and it funds our vulnerability management program. The vulnerability management program is something that the courts have taken on to help get personal identifying information, or PII, of judges off of the internet. As you indicated, it's very easy to find things out, including home addresses of judges, off of social media or the internet. And our vulnerability management program is an easy way to help judges pull that information off of the internet. As of April, 77% of our active federal judges have enrolled in the program and work with the specialists to help get this information off.
In addition to the Delete Me program, which attempts to remove personal identification information of judges from the internet, and which Judge St. Eve said almost 80% of judges have signed up for. We have taken steps to enroll judges in home intrusion detection system to protect them when they're at home, and also are engaged in hardening projects across the country with respect to our courthouses. So the threat environment is real. It's been present for a number of years, and the judiciary and the United States Marshal Service takes it seriously, which is why we're asking for this funding.
I can attest to the fact that bomb threats and having my home swatted and using the programs you're talking about didn't take my home address off, because we still have to put it down on places like where we put in our application to run for office, the title of my home. And that's unfortunate. I understand you're going through the same problem. But as you realize, if this administration has made cost savings a priority across the federal government, how would you elaborate on the judiciary ensuring that this fiscal response and the activities are undertaken with cost containment in mind? And are there internal groups or programs to ensure that that is taking place?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I indicated in my opening statement, the Budget Committee has an entire subcommittee devoted to cost containment. And at any given time, we have various measures that are in place in a different place. Recently, one such engagement we had was to put in place a cap on spending that individual chambers can have on library books, encouraging more the use of electronic research and sharing of library materials. We are looking into the use of technology for detainees who are housed far away from federal courthouses, so that probation officers and pretrial services officers And attorneys who are representing them don't need to travel, sometimes a significant amount of miles to go and visit with them, that they can do it electronically through equipment, and that would save quite a bit of money and time for all three of those categories. We are also looking at shared resources. My courthouse in Chicago, we have the Court of Appeals, the District Court, the Magistrate, the Bankruptcy, all in the same courthouse. So something that we recently instituted was we're sharing among the District Court, the Magistrates, and the Court of Appeals, HR now. So we've combined those. And we're looking at doing the same for IT. Other courthouses are looking at shared resources that they can engage in. So at any given time, we have different things in place. As you know, we've had the no net new in place on our space, that courts cannot expand their space without giving up some. And we are focusing on space, which is quite expensive for us and a chunk of our budget. We are looking at other ways that we can save with space.
Thank you. As I said before, people are going to be moving in and out. I'm going to run down to a T-HUD hearing